OG colorway, and that new comfy fit has to happen. Dates are all over the place at the moment. Things come out differently in different regions, so I'm just going to go through some of the highlights. I feel like seeing what resellers can do with their margins. Okay, if we make more but increase the price, there's going to be nothing for them and we'll make all the money. Hey, what up and welcome to another episode of Creased, and this is our 2025 what to look forward to, predictions, all that type of episode. We do it every year, not a 2025 one, but you get what I'm saying. I was gonna do it last week, but then I was like, we've done so many lists, let's do something a little bit different. I felt like going shopping, man. I could have added that into it, but it ended up being its own thing. But let's get straight into it. I'm not gonna run through everything and dates of things that are coming out. That's what I've done in the past, but dates are all over the place at the moment. Things come out differently in different regions, so I'm just gonna go through some of the highlights I feel like for this year. And I know I get a lot of flack for only talking about Nike and Jordan. I was literally in Asics Gel Lights today, but it's not as easy getting information for the other brands. Nike just flat out tell you what they're gonna do. The rumor mill circles absolute insanity, but with the other brands they're a little bit more low key. So before you come for me, some of the highlights. Jordan 4 undefeated. That is the highlight. And from what I'm told, they're not going to be limited. They're going to be a little limited, but not as much as they have in previous years. I think when they've done them previously, they've been so limited that the asking price on StockX is a great indication of how limited they've been. I have always wanted this pair. They've got a loose affiliation with Eminem because he was offered the undefeated first, right? Then he went with the Encore pair, which is the blue and red, which I've got the Winterized 4s, which, right there, about as close as I'm ever going to get to that. So I'm not mad at that. I've got something similar. The undefeated 4s, they're just a great colorway to me, and they're definitely one I'm going to need. But we've also got the white cement 4s. In recent times, we've had the fire reds, military blues, breads, even the breads reimagined. Haven't done a white cement since, I want to say 2016. I could be wrong there. But the white cements are back. They're with that new shape. I'm here for it. I need a pair. OG colorway. And that new comfy fit has to happen. There's also two SB4s this year. The Pine Green went crazy. They're a pair that I didn't really care for until I saw them in hand, until I heard they'd got rid of the toe pinch, and then they ultimately became this cult classic, being that they are the most comfortable Jordan 4. Well, they got two more colorways, and I'm more of a fan of blue, so I'm probably going to go for the blue ones over the red if I can get them at all. I think they will be pretty hard to get anyway. Speaking of crazy shoes, I mean, to me they're not, but Black Cat 4 is rumored to come back. We had the Black Cat 3 drop January, first week of January, something like that. And I think the hype kind of simmered. When I went into the city last time, they were everywhere. They weren't a hard cop. Yeah, I think there'll be a little bit more hype for the 4s, but don't buy them thinking they're going to go up to $1,000, because last time they came around, nobody cared. They sat for months, right? If you feel like holding on to them for a few years, maybe, but they're gonna be $300. We know what Nike are doing this year. Everything, the prices are going up. What I'm hearing about the Bread 85s, I don't even want to know what they're gonna be. We've also got the Rare Air 4 coming. This is a pair that never officially came out before. This is a pair that garners a lot of hype for obvious reasons, but for me, I don't like the colorway. The upside down logos, everything like that, does nothing for me. There's also not one, but potentially two Nigel Sylvester 4s coming out. The first colorway is like a reddish orange. We've already seen images of that. The next one is like a fire red, but it's got that mini swoosh at the toe box, which I've never been a fan of, a mini swoosh on a toe box, so I'm probably going to let both of them miss. I don't really need bike air on the back, to be fair. In terms of 3s, there's a few. You've got the Pure Moneys coming back, which I don't think are as good as the Pure Whites that came out in what, 2017, 2018? They had a translucent sole, a little bit of a color switch up, but predominantly white Jordan 3. Like one of my favorite sneakers of all time. Genuinely one of my favorite shoes of all time, but a translucent sole will eventually turn to that, so I don't know. I'll probably go for the triple white pair when they drop, or the Pure Money. One pair that has actually grown on me quite recently, like very recently, I want to say Seth Fowler with a pair. It's the, what are they calling them? They're like MJ shorts. Because obviously you remember, even if you watch Space Jam, you're not a basketball fan, but he needed his lucky shorts to play, which were a pair of UNC basketball shorts that he'd wear under his game shorts, and they were his lucky shorts, right? He can't play without them. So this shoe is based on that. Essentially, it's just another UNC 3, which I'm not mad at. I do always love a UNC sneaker. I do already have these. I want to say they're probably one of the best colorways, but this is when Jordan 3 started being uncomfortable. And if we can get a high quality, comfortable UNC 3, that'd be fantastic. The other Jordan 3 that I've noticed coming out is another Armanier Jordan 3. This time even worse than the last two. Like, the first one is a perfect sneaker, absolutely perfect. The second one kind of grew on me, but I don't need it. This one's terrible. Like, this is not great. Is it me, or are we just like, I'm over these brands that just have a long-term collaborative deal with Nike. Like, collaborations should be spontaneous. They should have like a bit of meaning to them, not just here's the parameters, do what you will, pump one out every year. It does nothing for me. Could be a hot take, let me know. In terms of Jordan 1s, like, they're going crazy with the lows. You got the Obsidian low, Chicago low, and the Rookie of the Year low. They're also doing another Travis Scott fragment low, which looks okay, but not as great as the last one. In terms of like Nike this year and Jordan brand, like, they are opening the vault. They're coming for resellers, it feels like, in my opinion. I feel like they're seeing what resellers can do with their margins. Okay, if we make more, but increase the price, there's going to be nothing for them and we'll make all the money. Even if they've increased the price, right? And then a shoe goes on sale and we pay basically what they're worth anyway, they still win. The shattered backboard is coming back. For me, I don't really need an orange sneaker. I don't think I have a single, no, that's a lie, I've got the Khaled's. That's like peach though, I guess. I don't really need an orange sneaker. The story of the shattered backboard, like, it's cool and all, but like, when he shattered that backboard, he actually was wearing Chicago's. The jersey he was wearing was like an orange jersey though, so I don't know. We've got two different Union highs coming out. Now this would be fantastic, but I'm not sure they're going to release here in Australia. From what I understand, they're probably only going to release at Union. They may drop in sneakers, but they're not coming here. I was genuinely excited for the Chicago pair. Like, I have not enjoyed any of the Union highs that have come out. I think I like the Union Dunks. That's probably the only collab I did like. And now this Union Chicago, but they're not even coming here, so what's there to get excited about? I ain't paying resale. We're still doing reimagines. We got the UNC reimagine, the Bread Toe reimagine. Bread Toe reimagine was meant to come out last year. They weren't doing too good, so they held that release. Try and build some excitement. They're putting it out this year. Prolong the rollout. Let's do that. I will probably cop the Black Toe reimagined. I will probably cop the UNC reimagined. I will probably attempt to cop the Bread 85, even though it's going to be Super crazy limited. They're talking about it's only going to be in 23 stores in America. I don't even think Australia has 23 Jordan accounts. Like, that's crazy if I think about it, right? Ones that could carry that shoe, like, okay, let's go Foot Locker, JD, InQ, Subtype, Culture Kings, Supply up there above the clouds, USG, highs and lows, that's 10, Laced, who am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anyone. That's 11 potential. Oh, Finesse, so 12. 12 Jordan accounts. And I don't think all 12 will get them. I would assume, I'm making predictions here. I'm going to say they might just go to Up There and Supply. I'd be very surprised if they go to any of the other boutiques, if I'm being honest. But that Bread at High 85, they've gone so deep into the vault to make sure that everything down to the stitch sizing, everything is exactly like the 85. So that's one of the greatest sneakers of all time. I'm going to need that one. They're going to charge me for it. They're going to charge me resale prices for it at retail, but I'm still going to need it. It is what it is. Speaking of crazy, they're dropping, like, in my opinion, the best colorway. Off-White Air Jordan 1 in the Euro colorway. That white, greyish blue with the orange bits, like, perfect sneaker. That's meant to be coming out. If that comes out, like, I'm copying. Like, I remember at a time when the Off-White Jordan 1 Chicago, the images of it first sort of came out, and it just, like, it blew me away. I was like, man, this is like some next level shit right here. Then they just rinsed and repeated it till it wasn't that important. But they've taken it away for long enough and bringing out a pair that I think was a European exclusive, hence the Euro name. So it never received a wide release. Now it is. I hope they make 1 million pairs. I honestly do. Jordan 5s, you got the OG Grape coming back, Black Metallic Reimagined, and an Awake MY collab. SB Dunks, you've got a Hayley Wilson, which is a local Australian skateboarder, another one getting her own shoe. This sneaker looks sick, like honestly looks sick. You got the Riot Skate Shop collab, which I think dropped on sneakers like last night or something. You got a Supreme pack coming, you've got the second Yuto Horigomi shoe, which is that like greeny wasabi color. Fantastic, even better than the first one. One of the greatest skaters in terms of contests, even in street, done some crazy street parts. People won't care, they look nice, they want the shoe. I want the shoe. Hopefully I can get it this time, because I didn't get the other one. They are dropping a lot of Kobe's, like a lot of Kobe's. They even like, shout outs to anyone in LA in the fires if you're watching this, like you guys have gone through a crazy circumstance that no one can really imagine. I actually live surrounded by bush, and there was one summer where it was just sheer dumb luck that the wind didn't change as to why I'm still here able to do this. But yeah, like my heart goes out to you guys. I saw Nike like donate a bunch of money, but like Vanessa Bryant was also on the ground like donating Kobe's and apparel to people that had nothing. So that's incredible. And the fact as well that people are able to get Kobe's now to be able to play basketball in, fantastic. Even though Josh Giddey's trying to sell all his Kobe's, which says that he's probably got a brand deal on the way, more for the rest of the people. One of the most exciting things coming this year, for me anyway, I don't know about you guys, but for me, the Air Max Plus 7, the TN7. These are like a TN if there was just like random splashes coming off it, and they just look incredible. There's two different colorways that are blue and white in the OG colorways, and I need them both. They are ones that I've wanted forever. I never saw them on shelves, like for whatever reason. They were just ones that I saw on people's feet going, what the hell are they and how do I get them? So I'm gonna need them. Blue and white colorways, they're gonna be going to Bulldog games and everything like that in the Terry Lamb bar, getting pissed with Terry Lamb. Come on, doggies, this is our year. Other Air Max we can look forward to. In Air Max 95, they're doing the neon, OG neon, with the bigger bubble. Not big bubble, but like bigger than what it has been, closer to the OG spec, which is incredible. Neon 95s are like another one of those staples. You got like Chicago Jordan 1s, infrared 90s, ultramarine 180s, neon 95s. Black cement 3s, probably chucking that. I'm gonna need a pair. I've never had a pair for whatever reason. I've just never had a pair. My first pair of 95s were the stash joints. That's pretty sick. But I'm gonna need these for my second pair. I don't know if I'm gonna go for the Nike SB 95s. If they do them in the neon 95 as an SB, I may get them as well. I don't know, maybe. And if you're wondering, yes, people have skated Air Max 95. I actually just saw a clip the other day where a dude was skating in TNs. In the States as well. When I said, bro, are those TNs? Like, he's like, nah, they're Air Max, bro. Okay, you don't know what TNs are. What else we got? The Air Max Creased. This is a wild, wild shoe that I've never seen before, but I'm here for it. Galaxy foams. I had a wild hot take on the Galaxy foams. Me personally, I've never cared about Galaxy foams ever in my life. I got a wild take on them later. Air Max 1 Anniversary Red Supreme. Essentially, it's an Air Max 1 87, but with a Supreme logo. Air Max 1 in an Anniversary Red is probably, again, one of those shoes that you gotta have. I could care less if it had a Supreme logo, but if that's the way I gotta get them, I'm gonna have to try and get them. Another pair from the vault that honestly I don't think will translate is the PlayStation Air Force 1. I'm seeing a lot of people complain about Nike and Jordan Brand going back into the vault, releasing these crazy pairs, 2 numbers, and them not hitting. Here's the thing. It's fear of missing out. If you've got something that they don't have or they don't know about, you tell a cool story, they're gonna go crazy and like, you ain't got it, it goes for this, I want it. If it's readily available, people don't care. But if you genuinely like the colorway and you're able to buy it. Who cares about the hype? Not me. I'm an anti-hype beast. I could care less. One of my favorite sneakers in the world is an Air Max LTD, and I'm still to this day in 2025 calling for a premium hairy suede Air Max LTD. I think it would kill it in this current Y2K runner phase, mesh runners, whatever you want to call it. Everything's going back to baggy. It's weird, but I'm here for it. Bring back the LTD in premium quality. That leads me into what I want to see for 2025. I want to see more obscure Air Max silhouettes from the 2000s. There's so many that I vaguely remember from my retail days, from like say 2005 to 2018, I want to say. Bouncing between a bunch of stores, but there's so many that I vaguely remember, and I'm seeing ASICs like dip into that bag. Like the Kayano 20 just came back with a couple of collabs, and then they did some OG colorways and things like that. We've had the Nimbus 9 come back. Like Kayano 14 was huge last year. 1100s and 2100s are doing numbers for some reason. I don't know. Why would you get that when you can get the Kayano? Makes no sense to me. But if you're going to be going deep in that bag, ASICs, I want to see Nimbus 14s, 18s, Kayano 10s. I would love to see a DS trainer from back in the day. The first DS trainer. Now every shoe is light, but back in the day the DS trainer was the light shoe. But I also want to see more super obscure Air Max silhouettes. There's already one that's out at the moment. I think it's Air Max Muse. I can't even tell you if that's something that's new or like from back in the day. It looks like it takes inspiration from back in the day at the very least, but that's wild, bro. The right colorway and I'm gonna be all over that. I say it every year, I'll say it again. I would love to see some local artists collab with sneaker companies. I know of one that is in the works. I don't know what brand. I think I know what brand. I've heard a couple of different things, but there's a hardcore band that's going to be doing a collab with a local boutique store and a sneaker company. So can't say any more than that. You can probably guess from bits and pieces there, but I'd love to see more. I'd love to see them not even just, like I said before, going into, oh, we've got a long-term contract of collaborations with this company, this person, that person. No, random, like, hey, we dig your art. Hey, we dig your music. You're not well known or whatever, but like, we think you could do something here. Invest in the next generation. That's all I'm saying. You guys have got money. Sneakerheads are gonna buy it anyway. Make it happen. In terms of events, I would love to see ComplexCon actually happen in Australia. Like, what SneakerCon did here last year, terrible. They shortchanged us, 100%. If they come back and do it again properly, I'm happy to eat my words and say that's a good event, I had fun. I still had fun regardless. I'm gonna have fun because of the community, but they shortchanged us. If Complex comes and does the type of show that they were talking about, like, they were bringing international artists with them, and I had a look at the lineup and they were spending some money. But I want to see more events. We're obviously always going to go to the kickstand events because that's the absolute community, right? That's my first event I ever went to, was the one in Sydney. But ever since then, we go to Sydney and Melbourne because we've got friends in Melbourne, we have a good time in Melbourne, go to Sydney, it's fun too. So I just want to see more. I'm greedy. I want more events. And that's probably why later on I'm going to tell you I'm going to be going to more events. Might be a hot take, but I've seen brands like Fume try and come back. I'd love to see Damani Dada come back. Dada Supreme. Like, that era was so sick to me, and like, kids are wearing jerseys now, so bring them back. We can do it. It's funny how like fashion and nostalgia have like this 20-year cycle. Like, everything I was wearing in high school has come back around. Everything I liked in high school has come back around. It's insane. I probably look way too old to be buying the things that I've bought recently, but I have more right to them than you, punk kids. Don't you judge me. But in terms of Nike and Jordan Brand, they're going deep into the vault, but I want them to completely drain the vault. Get rid of it. There's no point in holding on to these things. You have these IPs, you have these classic colorways, silhouettes, whatever. Unleash them. I would love to see Pigeon Dunks, Jedi Dunks, Diamond Dunks, all the Off-White collection. Here's a crazy one that I've been saying for a minute. Release all of the M&M collabs, right? The Travis Scott collabs, the Kanye collabs, they've always been direct to consumer. You've always had a chance to buy them. Most of the M&M collabs have been like friends and family, or you went in a raffle, or you donated to charity, or they were auctioned. All these type of things that the general public does not have access to. The reason why Eminem resonated with so many people is because he came from a poorer working class type background. He was for the people. People that thought they had no voice had one through Eminem. So why not unleash his collabs? Do it in like a whole month. Go bang, 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 bang. Burst. Air Max LTD. Jordan 3. Jordan 4. Jordan 4. Shady Air Force Ones. Everything. Release them. Make it an event. Put out like 4 songs to commemorate it. Make it a true collaboration. Hell, even do like something new, something random. The TN7 is coming back. I guarantee Eminem likes the TN7. Because he liked the TN1, he liked the Air Max LTDs, Air Max 90s, Air Max Burst. Hell, even do the Bad Meets Evil Converse. Converse is owned by Nike. Run it. But if we're truly here to unleash the vault, let's do it. Let's release everything. Now here's some of my predictions. I predict that Adidas will keep doing these low-key collabs. The Ninja Turtles. I want to say they're doing some Toy Story stuff. I literally just saw today. They had the Corn collab. They're up to like 3 collabs now. It sells out every time. They're doing like some random lifestyle gear for Manchester United, Real Madrid, things like this. Like they're doing so many low-key collabs. The Bad Bunny stuff always sells out. I predict they're going to keep doing that this year. As well as going back into the vault with like the Adidas A3, what do they call them? Mega Ride or whatever they are. I knew them as the Adidas A3. When the shocks were out, Adidas A3 was there too. And I hope they bring back that silver and blue colorway and the white and blue colorway. The silver and blue was like so iconic back in the day. I think it was even like on the cover of a free running video game. So, but yeah, I can see them cementing their spot back as number 2. In this sneaker world, they've kind of dropped off in the last few years, but I can see them like getting back. I feel like with everything with Yeezy, people didn't associate Yeezy with Adidas, even though it was. So when things were happening, it was just Yeezy. So they took a step back and weren't really doing anything for them. Now, they've got rid of him, they've ripped the band-aid off, and they're getting back to what they know. I'm here for it. My bold prediction that I mentioned before. Things like the Galaxy phones and the PlayStation Air Force Ones, UNC Reimagines, and Black Cat 4s are not going to do the numbers that people think they are. I don't think the Air Force One or the Foamposite translate to the current sneaker economy. I don't think they translate to the current sneaker heads. That was a moment in time. And yes, a lot of what we do within sneakers is nostalgic, but that was a moment in time. They don't translate. The Air Force One, maybe it's an iconic shoe. Foamposite, not really. People don't wear performance basketball shoes like that casually. You just don't see it. Over here, definitely. In America, maybe a little bit. But the Galaxy foams are not going to do what you think they're going to do. The PlayStation Air Force Ones are not going to do what you think they're going to do. Black Cat 4s, maybe some kids need some school shoes. I might get them for a wedding shoe. I don't want them. But they're like... The UNC Reimagined, I honestly feel like may go on special. Putting it out there right now. Jordan 1s just seem to be so irrelevant within the current sneaker climate. Me personally, I still love a Jordan 1. I've got plenty. I love them. I will want a pair. There will be people like myself who will want a pair, but I can't see the people that have jumped on the bandwagon in the last few years caring about them. I can't see people that have gravitated towards your New Balance, your Asics and everything like that, caring about them. Maybe the bread toe, but not the UNC. This is another prediction for me in terms of a release. I think I may have heard a rumor, or I may have just made this up, but I think the True Blue 3s will be released this year. They're not on any sort of official Jordan lineup where they've given you everything that's coming out this year, but when you look at what has come out in order, we've gone Fire Reds, White Cements, Black Cements. Next one is True Blue. We haven't had a True Blue since, is that 2015? I don't know. I'm not even going to check it. We ain't got time. We got way too much stuff to cover, but we need a True Blue. I need a True Blue with the OG Nike Air on the back. I need it. I need it. Don't reimagine it. I don't want to reimagine it. It already looks good enough. Just give me what I want. But that's my prediction. I haven't announced it, but it would make no sense if they didn't. The other prediction is more so a hope, but with the current Air Max 95 and Air Force One Stash collab doing quite well, there's a lot of hype. He's done a lot of offshoot collabs to kind of tie into that and keep the momentum of them going. You had the Albino Prado collab, then I think he did something with another brand quite recently, but he's been doing these pop-ups. He's everywhere, right? Spiridon's just come back. Stash Spiridon? Maybe. I'm hoping so. I've asked some people because like I can usually predict certain things within patterns. Like it's not hard to do really, and I've asked certain people about this one and no one's heard anything, but stranger things have happened. My other prediction, more resale stores and sneaker boutiques in general shutting down. You just saw S&S shut down. They filed for bankruptcy. That's crazy. That's a retail store. I'd already written down that resale stores were going to shut down, but like I didn't see that happening. That could potentially happen here. Like boutiques here every other day have got stuff on sale. It's wild. Like some pairs, bro, and like if this was 2-3 years ago where these sales were popping up, where I was just buying everything, I wouldn't have room to move in this room at all. Like there's so many pairs, I'm like I should get them, but I'm being good. I'm trimming down. I want one sneaker wall, not 3. Until I've reached a certain goal, and then we'll start again. But like, what happened to Crep Shop? They're just randomly not on IG anymore. I'm looking right here. It still says they're open 11 AM to 6 PM, but someone told me like their stores are shut down. So I don't know. They were doing a bunch of like collabs. They had artists coming through. He was buying all his inventory too. Like he was buying new, used, everything. Like he had to have a lot of money behind him. Really nice guy. I met him before we did the interview at SneakerCon. But he just kind of disappeared, bro. Like the website's still going, but yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't been to Supply this year. I need to go check and see if it's still there, but there was like a bunch of resale stores closing in America. I'd assume it's the same in London. So many stores opened up after 2020 and they're all starting to close. And these things happen. If you look at these cook groups that used to guarantee sneakers and all this type of stuff, they're now trying to sell coins. They're now trying to resell like concert tickets and things like that. It's a wild game, bro, but my prediction is more of them close. I think when you've got stores like, say, a Soulmate or a Kicks TW that have been around for a lot longer, they're kind of cemented. They kind of know what they're doing. I feel like the Good Kid too, they have like a really unique model where everything they do is consignment, and they also like, most of their stores are like a pop-up type thing. So it's a short term, see if it works. If it doesn't, we move to the next area. They do really solid online and they work with a lot of Australian brands. I feel like they'll stick around too. I'm not biased because they're the homies, but I feel like they'll probably stick around as well. But in terms of this channel, I got a little bit lazy last year. I did a lot of stuff, but I did get a little bit lazy. I didn't do any sneaker collection videos, not one. And we kicked it off this year straight away with Adam's collection. Everyone was like, oh, this is a great new series. It's like, nah, this is how we started, bro. Like, we started doing collection videos. You gotta go back in the archives. And I've had a bunch of people hit me up out of nowhere wanting to do them. So there's gonna be a lot of collection videos this year, which is gonna help if I'm not buying sneakers myself to show you guys. I'm joking, there will be sneakers. I'm gonna be doing a lot more collection videos. I hope to go overseas this year too. I'm trying to organize a passport, but parents not born in Australia. It's a whole problem that I didn't realize I had until recently, very recently. But I will be getting my passport this year. I will be going overseas. There's a bunch of sneaker conventions, bunch of places that I'd love to visit. Maybe link up with some other YouTubers from different countries, things like that. But This has been another episode of Creased Teeth. We do talk about sneakers and everything sneaker related here. On the other channel, we do everything else. So, there's a lot coming this year. Sneaker releases, things in general. A lot on this channel. I can't wait to show it to you. If you're here for the first time, you've been here for a long time, stick with me, bro. We got a lot coming. This has been another episode of Creased Teeth. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll be back every week between the two channels. Peace.